Coach, congratulations winning an extremely great basketball game here in the Mountains Conference tournament. I know a lot of things going through your mind, but can you summarize a little bit of the game tonight?
Yeah, I think it can go without being said that you would know better than I don't know if there's been a better game at the conference tournament in the Mountain East tournament. There might be. I would put that up against any of them. And to do that against the #1 team in the country, the stat that stood out to me when I first got it was we just played 50 minutes of basketball and 2 teams combined for 21 turnovers. That's clean basketball. That's efficient basketball. That's what impressed me. Obviously, I'm happy that we won, but what impressed me in both teams is we didn't throw it to one another. And that was a battle, and that's a game that this side will remember forever. And fortunately enough, it gets us one more.
Questions?
Rob, described those final few seconds as it looked like you almost lost the ball and you were able to get the shot off in time.
Coach drew up the play, asked me if I want the shot. Of course I said yeah. So stepped out, got the ball, was looking up, I was going to drive all the way to the basket. Help came, and I slipped down and fell, but they didn't call a foul, so I knew when I got up I was going to step through and try to get a shot. And then I stepped through clean, so I just tried to throw it off the glass.
What did you think when you saw it go in?
Praise God. I put in a lot of work. I know a lot of y'all know my story and stuff, so without God, I wouldn't be here. First of all, I want to give praise to God. Thanks Him for doing everything. But I mean, it's just a testament like who we are, who we as a team and individually. We just work hard. And Coach says when you do everything the right way, things are going to take care of itself. So we're in the conference championship for a reason.
When you fell, did you lose contact with the ball?
No, I made sure I had it. I wasn't letting them get it.
As crazy as that shot was, did it feel good when it left your hand? As much as good it could feel in that situation?
I knew if I got on the backboard, it would have a chance. A straight line drive on in. So I knew if I could play the glass, it might go in. And it did.
You went like 9 minutes in the first half. I don't even think taking a shot. Like the last 9 minutes of the first half, you didn't. Did that frustrate you at all? And did you kind of come back out in the second half thinking, okay, I got to get my shots when I can find them?
No, I score in bunches. I'm not really like Aaron where you can score all throughout the game different ways. I get rolling, I get hot for a second, and then I just score about 9, 10 in a row sometimes 15. So I know once I draw attention to myself, my teammates can get off, and then I'll pick it up when we need us to, when they need me to. So.
Ken, usually when these two teams get together, 92-90, that's about the score with about 6 or 7 minutes to go in the game. Both teams tonight sure they can lock down on defense too.
That's impressive. I mean, you're right. We played each other, and I think if I have to guess, in our first two meetings, we shot 60% and then like 55%. And I told the guys before we left Athens to come up here, I said, guys, one thing you need to understand about tournament play is the first thing that happens, and this is G. Reed talk back from my high school, the games will slow down. The best teams in March, in my opinion, are the half-court execution teams, defensively and offensively. We knew that coming in. And fortunately for us, we got off to a hot start, and then I think there in the first half, we tried to keep that pace up with Rob's hot hand, and I think that caused us to maybe take some shots that we weren't really comfortable with, and let West Liberty get back in the game, but we knew they were back in the game. So defense wins, rebounding wins. We necessarily didn't win the rebounding battle today, but to hold a West Liberty basketball team to 34%, 35% shooting, these guys did it. I didn't challenge one shot. I didn't get one rebound. You got to be proud of the 2 defensive efforts we've had here in 2 days.
Coach, the fact that West Liberty was the team, they had to make the 3 to force overtime, they had to make the free throws to force second overtime. Was that kind of the message you gave your team in between the breaks where you guys felt like you had the upper advantage?
When it went to first overtime, I sat down and I looked at the guys. The guys we have, when they, I don't even know how they forced first over. I think Lamberti's 3. And I looked at the guys. We played West Liberty for 120 minutes, and we've led for about 90. So don't think we're the underdog. Don't walk in here like we're lucky to be here. I mean, no disrespect to West Liberty, but they were lucky to be there, being down 8. Meach misses a point-blank layup to get them back in the game. So we just try to instill confidence. Guys, we are not the underdog like the national rankings might say. And they never lost confidence. They never looked down, they never wavered, and early in the season, we were in a situation with Wesley, and we kind of started wavering and it turned into a loss, but that's maturity and growth. That's when you have seniors and older guys like that to my left.
How good was Aaron's performance down low, 19 points, and I think you got Rosenberg without help, you know.
You know, and right, down the stretch, Rob was hot early, and in the second half, we went back to yesterday's game plan. We threw the ball to Terry every time down the court. And we told him, and I trust him to make the decision. We look at how many touches he had, 2 turnovers, 19 rebounds. We just played through him, and he does a great job of seeing the double team if they're going to come. He kicks out of it. He got numerous wide open shots for us out of double teams. Unfortunately, we didn't make them, but I've told the guys we'll take him every day. He draws so much attention, and 6 of 10, but what he did, unbelievable. Unbelievable, 19 rebounds, just throwing guys that were unbelievable.
Terry, how was that down low, going up against what they were doing to you?
Just had to be tough and do my job. Get every rebound that I can. Teammates tell me on the bench that on the glass, we're better than these guys. Get every rebound, and that's what I do.
Obviously, Kent, you've got business to take care of tomorrow, but what does this victory having 2 against West Liberty now do for maybe your chances of playing beyond tomorrow?
The thing that and I'll admit I've looked forward, obviously, you're going to. But when we play tomorrow, we're going to play either Wheeling or Notre Dame, and we will play our 31st game. That'll be our 10th game against teams ranked in the region. 10th. 1/3 of our games are against teams ranked in the region. So you can't tell me, when you look at our basketball team, I don't care what the number, you can't tell me we don't deserve it. We beat West Liberty twice. Notre Dame was in the region, we beat them twice. Unfortunately, we didn't. What happened with Wheeling and Fairmont, but you can't tell me that the Mountain East Conference does not deserve 4 basketball teams. You know Wheeling's in, you know West Liberty's in, you know Fairmont's in. You can't tell me. Now, whatever comes out on Sunday, whatever comes out tomorrow evening, comes out tomorrow evening. But these guys have earned the right, to play another game, but I'm going to tell them we control our own destiny at 3:30 tomorrow. So if we want in, let's go get in.
You guys have gone from not winning a game on an tournament to now you're playing for a championship. How does that feel to be able to make that leap?
You know, what's unfortunate is where it's such a quick turnaround. If you'd asked me this in a week, I'd probably have a different answer. But right now, you're just so focused on trying to get these guys rested and trying to get prepared for Wheeling or Notre Dame or whoever we're fortunate enough to play. But it still feels, it feels good because these guys have earned the right, not for me. These guys have put in the time. And what you want is you want players that when they put in the time, you want them to see the benefits. So guys behind them, they leave a legacy of this is how we operate. And the legacy is left. And that's what, fortunately, for these guys I have to my left, they've done for this program from now and then until we're done with it.
Aaron, you had to came up with 14 points today. This is your 3rd game against West Liberty this season. Tell me how you approached this one.
I think it's pretty much the same way we approached the first 2, was taking away 2s and challenging the 3s, because a team like West Liberty, very good offensively. You can't rest on them. They just spread you out and just try to put you from every position. Did a good job today, challenging every shot they took. I think they took like 23s in the first half, and they were missing, so that was good for us.
And you got all conference guys right here. All these guys have made all conference, and they defend. That's what Aaron, how many times do you get a guy as a Jude sophomore that's a first team all conference player that doesn't get any all conference player, never hangs his head, and he understands his role because of what Rob is. That's what this program is. That, in a nutshell, sitting out the end, is in a nutshell what this program is. It's a selfless program.
Anything else? Guys, we'll see you tomorrow.
Hi, fellas.